You've already experimented, to little effect, with adjusting the volume of the bass track. Now try adding a compressor to this track and adjusting the parameters to see if you can improve the mix. This isn't really working either. Because our bass line has a very consistent level and no real transients, there's not much for the compressor to do. It's really just functioning like an additional volume control. Sidechaining offers another solution. To show compressors' sidechain controls, click the toggle button in its title bar. Now click the Sidechain button to enable external sidechaining. This enables the audio from routers in the compressor device, which allow us to select audio from another track as the trigger or key for compressor's threshold. We want the kick drum to function as our key, so select 1 drums in the top chooser and drum rack, kick, post mixer in the bottom chooser. Now, the compressor lowers the volume of the bass line whenever the kick drum's level exceeds the threshold. Sidechain compression is the secret behind the famous pumping sound associated with classic French house music. Try these settings to get this sound. Although sidechaining is most commonly associated with compressors, Live also includes sidechaining options in the auto filter and gate effects. Let's examine how to use sidechaining in the auto filter to add rhythmic interest to a static pad sound. To start, trigger the drums plus bass plus pad scene. As you can hear, the new pad layer is fairly bland. Now add an auto filter effect by dragging it from the audio effects folder of the device browser and dropping it on the pad track. As you did with compressor, open the auto filter's sidechain controls via the toggle button in its title bar. Then enable the sidechain button and select 1 drums from the top routing chooser. We're going to use the closed hi-hat to control the auto filter's envelope follower. So select drum rack, CH, pre-FX in the bottom chooser. Now turn up auto filter's envelope knob to enable the envelope follower. Because our cutoff frequency is already quite high, it's difficult to hear what effect we've had so far. Gradually decrease auto filter's cutoff frequency by dragging its slider down. The filter's cutoff frequency now rises and falls along with the transients of the closed hi-hat. For an even more pronounced effect, try these settings. Now learned a bit about compression in theory and practice, and gotten a chance to build various sidechaining routings for both mixing and creative sound design applications. Here are some ideas for further experimentation and learning. Another common application for sidechain compression is to automatically duck the level of background music when a voiceover is present. In fact, the audio track for this movie was mixed in Live in exactly this way. Go back through the examples in the movie and experiment with the other parameters in the selected effects. You'll find that subtle changes to the attack and release parameters, for example, can have a dramatic effect on the output. In the sidechaining examples, experiment with changing the gain of the external sidechain source. It's important to note that this control doesn't affect the gain of the signal going to your speakers, but rather the signal level of the key that drives the effect. Try experimenting with different key sources in the routing choosers when sidechaining. Switching from pre to post FX routing, for example, can make a big difference in how the sidechain behaves. We also recommend reading the relevant manual sections on the compressor, auto filter, and gate effects to learn more about how all of their parameters interact.